Wondering how guys text their crush? It's time to help a lover out. Kindly give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Texting is a terrific way to flirt and communicate with your crush. You can do it anytime, anywhere. But as helpful as texting can be to stay connected to someone, it can also lead to overthinking. That's why knowing out how guys text when they like you is key. Deciphering sarcasm from flirting or spotting a restaurant recommendation from a date invitation is important. But it can be pretty confusing. So if you think your new texting buddy might want to be more than friends, here are a few things to keep an eye out for. Our advice on how guys text when they like you, "How are you?" is boring, yet important. It might sound crazy, but studies show that a simple, "How are you?" can indicate whether a guy has the feels for you or not. Conversely, getting random texts out of the blue can signal a booty call. And a vague, "What's up?" can mean the same. Think about it. If he's asking about how you're doing, he's thinking about you. Maybe he's using it as an introduction so he can ask you out on a date or make another move. Or maybe he's feeling nervous about starting an actual conversation and unsure of where to start. And this is the go-to greeting he always uses. He could also be an awkward texter. Maybe suggest taking your conversation from the chat room to a phone call. When you're trying to understand how someone feels about you, hearing someone's voice always trumps reading their texts. Good morning texts during weekdays signal real interest. Good morning texts are a good sign he's into you too. This is especially true if he's messaging you on a random weekday. Why? It means that he's thinking about you as soon as he wakes up and is interested in how you're doing. And if you weren't special to him, that wouldn't be the case. He double texts, but not quadruple or more texts. Getting 50 texts from a guy can be jarring. But when a guy double texts, it can be a little different. Some people look at double texting as a sign of desperation, but that's not necessarily the truth. If a guy texts you and doesn't get a response, and then texts again, maybe he's worried you're not into him. He could be overthinking your replies just as much as you're mulling over his. Just keep an eye on what kind of double texts he's sending. Are they sweet and harmless? Or do they make you feel stressed out? If a guy acts like you should be attached to your phone 24/7 just so you can answer him, it could be a sign that he's possessive. And possessive behavior can lead to unhealthy relationship dynamics down the line. So best steer clear of pursuing this connection anymore. After all, it's important to have boundaries. Particularly if you're just getting to know someone. He's heavy on the emojis. It's hard to convey what we mean through words alone in texts. That's why emojis can be helpful when you're wondering how guys text when they like you. For instance, we can't really read sarcasm in texts. But an eye roll emoji is a one-way ticket to understanding that said text was sarcastic. Because you don't know a guy's sense of humor yet, maybe he's using emojis so you don't misunderstand him. Our advice: if it feels right, play around with emojis too. A little emoji here and there can perk up a conversation. And if you need help decoding the language of emojis, just keep this simple guide in your back pocket. He doesn't make you wait. Sure, getting a "How are you?" text is nice. But getting one after not hearing from a guy in a week or more is, well, not so nice. And might be a sign that he's not looking for something serious with you. Of course, it's not necessarily a bad thing to go a day or two without texting. Sometimes life gets in the way. Balancing work and relationships can be challenging after all. But try to find out if it's his schedule keeping him away from you, or his heart. Or if he shows up again out of the blue only to disappear again. He could be breadcrumbing you. Breadcrumbing is like the meaner older sibling of ghosting. Instead of just fully disappearing on a person, he strings you along, so that he can be sure you're still interested. This can happen when a guy is struggling to get over feelings for another person. Or when he'd just like to keep his options open. Basically, he keeps you as a backup. And nobody deserves to feel like a backup. He shows that he wants to meet IRL. If a guy is breadcrumbing you, he's not about to make plans to meet in real life. And if you're looking for a real relationship, then this could be a red flag. But if a guy likes you to the point that he's considering a relationship with you, he's going to want to make actual plans to meet on a date. He'll likely want to talk to you about your likes and dislikes. Maybe he'll try to plan something that he thinks you would enjoy doing with him. Guys can be mysterious when it comes to texting. And sometimes it can be hard to read exactly what their emotions are. But remember, no one single text is a surefire way to know someone likes you. Pay attention to the flow of conversation, how often you speak, and when you meet, their body language too. So next time you're trying to decode your crush's texts, follow these tips to paint a better picture of what exactly he's trying to say. And more importantly, whether or not he's into you. So, how guys text their crush? Have any tips to share? I would love to hear from your experience too. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue making videos like this for you.